Here, if you want to build real strength in life, it ain't just about lifting heavy weights. It's about lifting yourself every single day. Strong people don't wake up strong. Right here, they remind themselves of what it takes to stay unshakable. Pain and persistence, that's the real workout today. Here, I'm going to share with you 11 things strong people remind themselves daily so you never forget what it takes to dominate your day and crush your goals. Strength is built in the mind before the body. Right here, and this truth is something many people underestimate when they first step into the arena of growth, whether it is the gym, business, or life itself. When you look at someone who is physically powerful or successful in any area, right here, you only see the external outcome. But what you don't see is the internal war they fight and win every single day. The body only follows the commands of the mind. And if the mind is weak, right here, the body will surrender at the first sign of pain or struggle. Think about the heaviest weights in the gym. They don't move unless your mind convinces your body to try. Here, and then to push past the moment where you want to give up. That is the secret difference between someone who merely desires strength and someone who becomes strong. The battlefield starts in your head, right here, with the words you speak to yourself and the beliefs you carry inside. If you tell yourself you can't, your body won't. If you tell yourself you can, even when you're shaking and in pain, right here, your body will rise to the challenge. That is why champions train their minds before their muscles. When you wake up in the morning, the first thoughts in your head set the tone for everything else. Strong people know this right here, and that's why they guard their minds, they guard their dreams. If your first thought is weakness, laziness, or excuses, then the body follows that path and the day is lost. But if your first thought is power, right here, determination and belief, then your body aligns with that direction and the day becomes a victory. Training your mind means creating habits of thought that push you further, even when your emotions are telling you to quit. Here, it is not about ignoring struggle, but embracing it and telling yourself that the struggle is the path forward, not a wall blocking you. Every repetition in the gym is not just a test of muscle. It is a test of will. Something right here, because your mind will tell you to stop long before your body actually reaches its limit. Strong people know this, and that's why they break through that mental barrier again and again until strength becomes second nature. Right here, if you want to be strong, you have to first understand that your thoughts are either your fuel or your chains. Weak thoughts tie you down, convincing you that you are not capable, not ready, or not enough. Here, strong thoughts light a fire inside you, pushing you to take action, even when the situation looks impossible. This is why mindset is not optional. It is the foundation on which everything else is built. A bodybuilder lifts a weight, his mind lifts it. Before an athlete runs a race, his mind runs it. Before an entrepreneur builds an empire, his mind sees it clearly. The mind creates the reality, and the body follows. Right here, that is why some people with less talent, less resources, and less advantages still rise to the top, because they refuse to let their mind accept weakness as an option. Every great achievement begins with mental discipline. Right here, it is about controlling what enters your mind and what stays there. Negative voices, doubts, and fears will always show up, but strong people train themselves to answer those voices with determination. When the mind says, right here, I can't, they replace it with, I will. When the mind says, it's too much, they respond with just one more rep. This mental training doesn't happen overnight. It is forged through daily repetition, just like physical training. The more you feed your mind with strength, the more it rejects weakness. And when your mind is strong, your body becomes an unstoppable machine. Right here, strength in the mind also comes from vision. If you don't see yourself as strong, if you don't imagine yourself achieving greatness, then your body will never believe it. Right here, visualization is one of the most powerful tools a person can use. Before lifting a weight, picture yourself completing it. Before facing a challenge, see yourself conquering it. The mind builds the image first, right here, and the body fills it in second. This is why so many strong people live with clarity of purpose. They see where they are going long before they arrive. It is the mind that tells them to keep moving when their body is begging to stop because the vision is too strong to abandon. Another important truth is that a strong mind does not avoid pain. It embraces it. Pain is not the enemy, it is the teacher. Weak minds run from discomfort, but strong minds lean into it because they understand that every moment of pain is a step toward growth. If your mind is fragile, pain will break you here. But if your mind is fortified, pain will shape you. In every rep, every struggle, every sleepless night, the mind is being tested. And if you pass the test, you come out stronger than before. The body changes in the gym right here, but the mind changes in the fire of discomfort. And that mental change is what makes lasting strength possible. Strong people also know that strength in the mind is about persistence. Anyone can start right here, but only the strong continue when the excitement wears off. Motivation is temporary, but mental toughness is permanent. This toughness is built by showing up every day, whether you feel like it or not. right here, and refusing to let your emotions dictate your actions. Your mind becomes a fortress when you prove to yourself again and again that you are capable of more than you thought. And each time you break past the limit, here your confidence grows, making you even stronger for the next challenge. Belief is another cornerstone of mental strength. You cannot build a powerful body or a successful life if you do not first believe it is possible. Here, doubt is the weight that crushes dreams before they even begin, and strong people refuse to carry that weight. They believe so strongly in their ability to endure, to fight, to rise, that even when the odds are against them, here their mind keeps pushing them forward. This belief does not mean arrogance. It means having the courage to trust in your own potential, even when nobody else sees it. The truth is, right here, strength built in the mind becomes strength in every area of life. It shows up in the way you train, the way you work, the way you handle failure, and the way you keep going when others quit. Right here, a weak mind collapses under pressure, but a strong mind adapts, pushes back, and keeps climbing. That is why the strongest people are not just physically powerful, they are mentally unshakable. Here, their strength begins long before they lift a weight, run a mile, or face a challenge. It begins with a decision in the mind to never surrender, to keep fighting here, and to keep building. No matter how heavy life becomes, pain is the price of growth, and no matter how much people want to avoid it, the truth is that without pain, there is no real transformation. Every strong person you see in life, whether in the gym in life or in their personal journey, has paid for their strength or discomfort, setbacks, and struggle. Pain is not just something that happens to you right here. It is something that works for you if you allow it. The soreness after a workout, the failure after trying something new, the rejection when you put yourself out there, these are not signs that you are weak right here. They are proof that you are stretching yourself beyond your limits. Pain is the toll that life demands when you are crossing from where you are to where you want to be. Weak people see pain as punishment. Here, strong people see pain as preparation. Think about the weightlifter grinding through those last reps, his muscles burning, his lungs on fire, his body begging to stop. That burning pain is not a signal to quit. Right here, it is a signal that growth is happening right now. Muscles only grow when they are torn down and forced to rebuild stronger than before. The same is true for life. Every failure, every heartbreak, every obstacle that cuts you deep is breaking down your old self so that you can rise as someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. Without that breaking, there is no building. Without that tearing, there is no growth. Pain, right here, in this way, becomes the greatest teacher you could ever have because it shows you exactly where your weaknesses are and forces you to face them. People often dream of success without wanting the suffering that comes with it, but that is impossible. Success is built on the foundation of pain endured and conquered. The hours you don't want to train but do anyway, the nights you want to sleep but instead keep working on your goals. Here, the times you are laughed at or doubted but keep moving forward, those painful moments are the bricks that build your strength. If you remove the pain, you remove the process. And if you remove the process, right here, you remove the growth. Pain then is not something to run from but something to embrace, because each ounce of discomfort is an investment in the person you are becoming. Right here, what separates strong people from the rest is not that they enjoy pain, but that they understand its purpose. They see beyond the temporary sting and recognize the long-term reward. Right here, when everyone else stops because it hurts too much, the strong push forward because they know the pain is a signal that they are on the edge of transformation. Pain is the body's and life's way of saying, hey, here is your opportunity to grow. Strong people don't waste that opportunity. They lean into it, they welcome it, and they let it mold them into someone unshakable. Pain also teaches humility. When you suffer, right here, you are reminded that strength is not something given freely, it is something earned. Pain strips away the illusion of ease and comfort and shows you that greatness has a cost. It makes you respect the journey, right here, respect the struggle and respect those who walk the same path. Without pain, strength would make you arrogant, but with pain, strength makes you humble. You know what it took to get where you are, right here, and you know that it will take even more to go further. Pain keeps you grounded, but it also keeps you hungry. It whispers to you that there is always more work to do, always another level to reach, always another challenge to conquer. Another truth is that pain is universal. Everyone faces it in different forms, whether physical, emotional, or mental. The difference lies in how you respond. Some people let pain break them, others let pain build them. The same fire that melts wax hardens steel, and pain works the same way. Weak minds melt under its heat, but strong minds use it to forge themselves into something greater. That choice belongs to you. Right here, you cannot control whether pain comes into your life, but you can control whether it destroys you or strengthens you. Strong people choose to see pain as a forge, not a furnace. Pain also reveals character. When life is easy, it is simple to appear strong, confident, and disciplined. But when pain shows up, the mask falls off and the truth comes out. Do you give up, complain, or run away? Or do you dig deeper, endure, and rise? Yeah, pain exposes what you really believe about yourself. It asks you whether your goals are worth suffering for. It asks you whether your dreams are strong enough to carry you through the fire. If the answer is yes, you will keep moving forward no matter how much it hurts. If the answer is no, you will quit and the dream will die there. That is why pain is so valuable. It does not lie. It tells you exactly who you are and what you are willing to fight for. Strong people train themselves to reinterpret pain. Instead of seeing it as something to dread, they see it as feedback. Pain says, right here, you are in the process of changing. You are pushing limits. Pain says, you are alive, you are fighting, and you are moving. When you look at it this way, pain is not a curse, but a sign of progress. Here, every drop of sweat, every moment of doubt, every tear shed in the process of chasing your goals is proof that you are doing the hard work most people are too afraid to do. That pain becomes your badge of honor. Here, proof that you chose growth over comfort. There is also a kind of pain that comes from discipline, and this is the pain that truly separates the strong from the weak. Waking up early when you want to sleep, right here. Say no distractions when you want to give in. Sticking to your plan when it feels easier to quit. These small pains of discipline add up to incredible strength over time. People who run from this pain end up paying an even greater price later, the pain of regret. But those who endure the pain of discipline reap the rewards of growth, success, and self-respect. They understand that short-term pain is always worth the long-term strength it produces. Pain is also temporary, but the growth it creates is permanent. The soreness fades, the scars heal, the memories of the struggle soften, right here. But what remains is the strength, the wisdom, and the resilience you built through it. Every challenge you've survived has left you stronger than before, and that strength becomes part of who you are forever. Pain, that is why strong people don't fear pain. They almost welcome it, because they know that each painful experience leaves them better prepared for the next battle. Pain becomes less of an enemy and more of an ally, here guiding them to the next level of strength. In the end, pain is the price of growth because it forces you out of comfort. Nothing grows in comfort. Muscles don't grow when they are at rest, they grow when they are stressed. Right here, the mind doesn't grow when everything is easy, it grows when it is challenged. Life doesn't expand when you play it safe, it expands when you take risks and endure the struggle that comes with them. Pain is the proof that you are alive and striving, and it is the currency that buys every ounce of strength, success, and greatness. Discipline beats motivation every time because motivation is fleeting. Right here, it comes and goes like the weather, but discipline is steady. It stays when everything else fades. Motivation is that spark you feel when you watch a powerful video, hear an inspiring speech, or picture the life you want here, but as soon as the excitement fades, so does your energy. Discipline is the system that keeps you moving when that spark dies out. The structure that doesn't rely on your emotions. Right here, the foundation that doesn't crumble when you wake up tired, unmotivated, or discouraged. The strongest people in the world don't depend on motivation because they know it's unreliable, right? They build their lives around discipline because discipline is what shows up when nothing else will. Motivation whispers, discipline commands. Motivation fades, discipline endures. Motivation is the idea. Right here, discipline is the action. When you look at anyone who has built something extraordinary, whether it's a body carved through years of training, a business created from nothing, or a life full of achievements, right here, you are looking at discipline in action day after day. When the cameras weren't rolling and the applause wasn't there, they showed up. They lifted the weights, made the calls, studied the material, kept grinding, even when their feelings begged them to stop. This is the secret. No one wants to admit success is not built in the moments of inspiration. It's built in the moments of repetition. It's built in the unglamorous, boring, here, difficult hours when you follow through with the plan, not because you feel like it, but because you said you would. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers, the hopeful from the successful, the weak from the strong. Right here, discipline is powerful because it creates habits, and habits shape destiny. A motivated person might go hard for a week, a month, or even a year, but without discipline, they eventually burn out. Here, a disciplined person builds routines that carry them through for years, even decades. Motivation might get you to the gym for a few days, but discipline keeps you going long enough to actually change your body. Motivation might get you started on a project, but discipline finishes it. Motivation might make you dream of the future, but discipline actually creates it. The reality is that life doesn't reward what you want. Right here, it rewards what you consistently do, and discipline is the force that makes consistency possible. The reason discipline beats motivation is also because motivation is emotional while discipline is logical. Motivation asks, do I feel like doing this? And the answer is often no. Discipline doesn't ask that question. It simply says, right here, this is what I do. Strong people train their minds to stop negotiating with their emotions and start executing based on their standards. They don't let feelings decide their actions. They let their commitments decide. Right here, they understand that feelings are temporary, but results are permanent, so they don't let something temporary control their destiny. They create a system where showing up is not optional, where doing the work is automatic, and where action is non-negotiable. That is discipline, and that is why it wins every single time. Discipline also builds trust with yourself. Every time you say you'll do something and then follow through, right here, you are proving to yourself that your word matters. You are strengthening the relationship with yourself, and that is the foundation of confidence. People think confidence comes from talent or achievement, right here, but true confidence comes from discipline. When you know that no matter how you feel, you will show up and get the work done, you carry yourself differently, you trust yourself because you've built a track record of discipline. That trust cannot be faked and it cannot be bought. It is earned through repeated acts of discipline, day after day, year after year. Discipline also frees you. Most people think of discipline as restriction, as limitation, as something that takes away their freedom, but the truth is the opposite. Lack of discipline traps you in cycles of regret, inconsistency, and failure. Discipline liberates you from the chaos of constantly relying on willpower or motivation. When you have discipline, here, you don't waste energy debating with yourself every day about whether or not you should act. You simply act. That mental freedom allows you to focus on bigger things because the basics are already locked in. Right here, discipline gives you structure, and structure gives you the ability to expand. Just like a building needs a solid frame to reach higher, your life needs discipline to reach further. Without it, right here, you collapse under your own weight. Strong people know that discipline is not about perfection, it's about persistence. They understand that they will make mistakes, miss days, or face setbacks, but discipline pulls them back on track faster than motivation ever could. Motivation might give you excuses when you fail, but discipline gives you solutions. Discipline says, all right, you stumbled, right here, now get up and get back to work. It doesn't allow failure to define you, it forces failure to refine you. This is why disciplined people succeed long term, because no setback is strong enough to keep them down. Right here, they always return to the plan, to the structure, to the daily actions that lead to success. Discipline also sharpens your focus. In a world full of distractions where endless entertainment, comfort, right here, and shortcuts are available at every corner, discipline is the weapon that cuts through the noise. Motivation might make you excited about 100 things, but discipline keeps you committed to the few things that matter. Motivation makes you chase shiny objects. Discipline keeps you locked in on your purpose. The strongest people are not the ones who chase everything, but the ones who consistently execute on what matters most. Right here, and that is only possible with discipline. There's also a deeper power in discipline. It transforms your identity. When you practice discipline consistently, right here, you stop seeing yourself as someone who tries and start seeing yourself as someone who does. Your self-image shifts from being fragile and inconsistent to being strong and reliable. You begin to embody the identity of a disciplined person, and once that identity is formed, it becomes harder to quit than to continue. That's the ultimate power of discipline. It doesn't just change your actions. Right here, it changes who you are. And when you become someone whose default is discipline, success becomes inevitable. Discipline also gives you control in moments of weakness. Everyone has days when they feel exhausted, discouraged, or beaten down, but discipline doesn't care. Discipline says, do it anyway. That phrase, do it anyway, is the essence of strength. Strong people are not immune to fatigue or doubt. They simply choose not to bow to it. Right here, they acknowledge the feelings but act regardless. That choice is what builds resilience, and resilience is the backbone of strength. Without discipline, weakness wins. With discipline, here, weakness is crushed before it has a chance to grow. The beauty of discipline is that it compounds. Each day you follow through, each time you act bite, not wanting to, you are stacking bricks. Over time, right here, those bricks build walls of strength, fortresses of resilience, and entire structures of success. The small disciplines repeated daily create massive results that no burst of motivation could ever deliver. Right? And motivation may get you started, but it will never carry you to the finish line. Only discipline has the endurance to do that. In truth, discipline is the highest form of self-respect. When you are disciplined, right here, you are telling yourself that your goals matter more than your excuses, that your future matters more than your comfort, that your commitments matter more than your moods. Right here, you are showing yourself that you are worthy of greatness, and greatness is only ever given to those who are willing to pay the price of discipline. Here, weak people break promises to themselves because they don't believe they matter. Strong people keep promises to themselves because they know they do. That is why discipline beats motivation every time. Because motivation is nice to have, but discipline is necessary to survive. Motivation may inspire you for a moment, but discipline transforms you for a lifetime. Motivation may bring you excitement here, but discipline brings you results. Motivation might give you a push, but discipline carries you when there is no push left. Right here, the strongest people in history are not remembered for their moments of motivation, but for their lives of discipline, for their relentless consistency, for their refusal to bow to feelings, and their commitment to action. Right here, quitting is never an option, because the moment you decide to quit, you are teaching yourself to accept defeat as a normal part of your life, and once you normalize quitting, it becomes easier and easier until it defines you. Right here, strong people understand that setbacks, struggles, and failures are all part of the process, but quitting is the one thing that guarantees you will never reach what you're capable of. Quitting is permanent. Right here, quitting is surrender. Quitting is telling yourself that the pain of effort is greater than the reward of growth. It is giving up on the very thing you once said mattered to you. Here, and every time you quit, you not only lose the battle in front of you, you weaken your identity. You tell yourself that when things get too heavy, you will walk away. The strongest people reject that completely. Hey, we've been quitting, simply not on the table, not in their vocabulary, not in their mindset, because they know that as long as they keep moving, no matter how slow, they're still in the fight. Right here, and as long as they are still in the fight, there is always a chance to win. When you look at champions, whether in sports, bodybuilding, business, or life, the common thread is that none of them had an easy road. Right here, they all faced walls that seemed impossible to break, injuries that should have ended them, failures that should have crushed them, losses that should have discouraged them, but they refused to quit. They kept showing up. Right here, they kept fighting, they kept pushing through the storms, and because of that, they discovered strength most people will never know. Right here, every breakthrough you see in their lives was built on the back of moments where quitting was the easier choice, but they said no. That's the secret. Strength is not born when things are easy. Right here, it's born when you are staring at the exit and choosing to stay. Quitting feels tempting because it promises relief. It whispers to you that if you just stop, the pain will go away, the pressure will lift. Right here, the struggle will end. But what it doesn't tell you is that the pain doesn't disappear. It only transforms into something worse, regret. The pain of hard work, discipline, and endurance is temporary, but the pain of quitting stays with you forever. It haunts you in quiet moments. It reminds you what you could have been. It builds doubt inside you every time you start something new. Him right here, strong people understand this, and that's why they reject quitting. They know that regret is far heavier than any weight they could lift, far sharper than any failure they could endure, and far longer lasting than any temporary pain they feel in the struggle. The mindset of never quitting is also about resilience. Life is unpredictable. Things will go wrong, doors will slam in your face, people will betray you, and the path will rarely be smooth. If quitting is an option, then every storm has the power to end you. But if quitting is not an option, then no storm can destroy you. You may get knocked down, you may bleed, you may crawl right here, but you will always find a way forward. That resilience is what builds unshakable strength, because you teach yourself that nothing outside of you has the power to stop you unless you give it permission. Here, quitting hands over that permission. Refusing to quit keeps the power in your hands. Quitting is also the death of consistency, and consistency is the only way growth happens. Muscles don't grow from one workout. And right here, they grow from years of showing up. Businesses don't succeed from one idea, they succeed from relentless execution. Lives don't change from one decision, they change from countless small choices repeated daily. Saying right here, quitting interrupts the consistency, it breaks the chain, it resets the progress to zero, and worst of all, it steals the momentum you've built. Every time you quit, you throw away all the work you've done. Right here, starting again becomes harder because your mind remembers that you gave up before. That's why strong people don't let themselves quit, because they know the value of momentum, they know the power of consistency, and they refuse to break the chain. Another truth is that quitting often comes right before the breakthrough. Many people give up not because they can't achieve the goal, but because they don't realize how close they are. Right here, the last rep is always the hardest, the final mile feels the longest, the moment before the door opens feels the darkest. But if you quit there, you will never see the reward waiting just beyond the struggle. Right here, strong people learn to push a little longer, to hold on a little tighter, to keep grinding a little harder, because they understand that often the reward is waiting just past the point where most people surrender. They train themselves to see quitting as betrayal, not relief, and that mindset carries them across the finish line while others fall short. Quitting is also a habit, just like discipline is a habit. Right here, every time you choose to quit, you reinforce that behavior, and it becomes easier the next time. But every time you choose not to quit, you reinforce strength, you reinforce endurance. Right here, you reinforce the identity of someone who finishes what they start. Over time, that identity becomes unshakable, and quitting no longer feels like an option. It feels like an insult to who you are. Hey, here, that's the transformation strong people undergo. They stop seeing quitting as a possibility and start seeing persistence as their only language. The refusal to quit also teaches patience. Many people quit not because they lack ability, because they lack patience. They want results faster than reality delivers, and when progress feels slow, they stop. Strong people understand that growth takes time right here, and they are willing to endure the waiting, the slow grind, the long nights with no visible reward, because they trust the process. They understand that nothing great is built overnight right here, and quitting early only guarantees you'll never see the full harvest of the seeds you planted. Patience gives them strength, and that patience is only possible because quitting has been erased from their mind. Here, quitting is easy. That's why so many people do it. It doesn't take strength to quit. It doesn't take courage. It doesn't take effort. What takes strength is staying in the fight, showing up after failure, right here, facing the same challenge again after it beat you yesterday, holding your ground when everything in you screams to let go. That is real strength. And that strength only grows when quitting is not an option, right here. The strongest people are not the ones who never feel the urge to quit. They are the ones who feel it deeply but never act on it. They feel the temptation but reject it. They hear the voice but silence it. They keep moving forward when every part of them says stop. And because of that, they reach heights that quitters can never imagine. Quitting also destroys self-respect. When you quit, you don't just lose the battle. Here, you lose part of yourself. You tell yourself that your dreams weren't worth the effort, that your worth doesn't matter, that your potential isn't important. Over time, those messages sink in, right? And you stop believing in yourself altogether. That's why so many people live lives far below their potential, because they've quit so many times that they no longer see themselves as strong enough to endure. Right here, strong people understand this danger, and they guard their self-respect by refusing to quit. They may fail, but they will fail while fighting. They may stumble, but they will stumble forward. They may fall here, but they will always rise again. In their minds, quitting is not a choice because their self-respect is worth more than temporary comfort. Quitting is never an option because the cost is too high. The cost is your dreams, right here. Your potential, your legacy, your strength. The cost is the version of you that could have existed if you had just held on longer, fought harder, refused to stop. Here, strong people know that the only way to honor their potential is to keep moving, no matter what stands in their way. They understand that quitting doesn't make the struggle disappear. It just ensures the struggle was wasted. Right here, they refuse to let that happen. They stay in the fight. They keep pushing. They keep believing, because to them, quitting is not even on the table, not even a thought, not even a whisper worth listening to. Right here. Every day is a chance to get stronger, because strength is not built in one single moment. It is built in the accumulation of actions and small victories stacked on top of each other over time. Right here, each morning you wake up with an opportunity to either step closer to your potential or let it slip away, and the strongest people understand that. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't wait for motivation. They don't wait for the stars to align. They use what they have, where they are, and they make that day count. Even if it is just one rep, one extra mile, one small act of discipline, it becomes a brick in the foundation of their strength. Most people underestimate the power of daily action. They believe greatness comes from massive moments, big breakthroughs, or life-changing events. But the truth is, greatness comes from consistency. It comes from waking up every single day and saying, today I will get stronger. Today I will push further. Today I will not waste this opportunity. When you think of strength right here, you might imagine the heaviest lifts or the most difficult challenges, but strength is often forged in the small, everyday battles. Choosing to wake up early when you want to sleep in, right here. Choosing to stick to your plan when distractions surround you. Choosing to push yourself in the gym when your body says you're tired. Choosing to keep working on your goals when the results aren't showing yet, right here. These are the decisions that compound over time. Each one makes you stronger than you were yesterday. And the beauty is that you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Right here, every day gives you another chance to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. Strong people don't view life in terms of weeks, months, or years. They view it in terms of days. They know that if they can win today, and then tomorrow, and then the next day, the years will take care of themselves. They understand that strength is built in 24-hour cycles, and every day is a fresh opportunity to grow. Here, no matter what happened yesterday, today's a reset. You may have failed, you may have struggled, you may have fallen short, but as long as you wake up breathing, you get another chance. Right here, that perspective keeps them from dwelling on the past or worrying too much about the future, because the present moment is where strength is created. Right here, there is also power in understanding that strength is not only physical but mental, emotional, and spiritual. Every day gives you a chance to strengthen your mind by challenging your thoughts, rejecting negativity right here, and feeding yourself with discipline. Every day gives you a chance to strengthen your emotions by facing discomfort, embracing struggle, and refusing to let fear control you right here. Every day gives you a chance to strengthen your spirit by staying true to your purpose, holding on to your values, and pushing through obstacles with faith. The body may grow in the gym here, but the mind and soul grow in the grind of daily choices. Every day you face adversity, temptation, or fatigue, you are offered the opportunity to build more strength in all areas of who you are. Most people waste their days waiting for the big break or the perfect opportunity, not realizing that strength is built long before those moments arrive. The so-called big break is simply the result of hundreds, right here, even thousands of small days where you put in the work. Every rep in the gym, every page you read, every disciplined decision compounds until it explodes into visible success. But you never see that explosion without respecting the daily grind. That's why strong people treat every day like it matters, because it does. They understand that strength doesn't arrive in leaps. It arrives in layers. Here, and each day is another layer added to the foundation. The concept that every day is a chance to get stronger also destroys excuses. Too often people tell themselves they'll start tomorrow, next week, or next year. Here, but strength doesn't wait for later. Strength is built now in the choices you make today. Even if you can't do everything, you can do something. Even if you don't have an hour, you can use 10 minutes. And even if you can't run a mile, you can walk around the block. The point is that every day gives you the chance to make progress, no matter how small, is what builds strength. Here, strong people don't let the day pass unused. They take whatever they can from it because they know that small progress is infinitely greater than no progress. There's also the truth that every day presents challenges, whether you want them or not. Life doesn't pause for your convenience. Obstacles, setbacks, stress, and pain will show up right here. But within those difficulties lies a chance to grow stronger. Every hardship you face becomes a weight to lift, and lifting it builds resilience. Strong people don't complain that life is hard. Right here, they accept that hardness as the very material they will use to build strength. They know that avoiding struggle means avoiding growth. So when challenges arrive, they ask, how can this make me stronger? Here, that mindset transforms every day into a training ground for toughness. Strength is also a matter of perspective. Many people see each day as something to survive, to get through, to waste until the weekend or the holiday arrives. Strong people see each day as a gift, a chance to improve, a chance to take one step further than yesterday. Right here, they don't treat days casually because they know that time is the one resource you can never get back. Each day wasted is gone forever, but each day used wisely becomes part of the legacy you're building. Right here, that urgency gives them focus, and that focus into action. Every day matters because every day adds up. Another powerful truth is that small daily strength adds up to massive long-term strength. Here, a single workout won't transform your body, but 1,000 workouts will. One disciplined choice won't change your life, but years of disciplined choices will. Strong people understand that the process may be slow right here, but it is unstoppable as long as they keep going day after day. They don't rush, they don't chase shortcuts, they don't demand overnight results. They simply focus on using each day to get stronger. And by doing that, they guarantee that the future will take care of itself. That patience, combined with persistence, is what separates them from everyone else. Every day is also a chance to rewrite your story right here. No matter how weak you've been in the past, no matter how many times you failed, no matter how many times you've fallen short, every new day gives you the chance to choose differently. Right here, you can decide to stop repeating the same mistakes, to stop giving into the same excuses, to stop letting fear dictate your actions. You can decide that today will be the day you fight back. Here, and when you stack enough of those days together, you transform your life. That's the power of daily strength. It allows you to rebuild who you are one choice at a time. Right here, strong people also know that strength is not only about themselves, but about who they can become for others. Every day gives them a chance to be stronger for their family, for their community, for those who look up to them. Right here, strength is contagious. When you choose to get stronger every day, you inspire others to do the same. Your discipline becomes a model. Your resilience becomes an example. Right here, your daily grind becomes proof that greatness is possible. That responsibility drives strong people to treat each day seriously because they know they are not only shaping their own future, but influencing those around them. Right here, the idea that every day is a chance to get stronger is also what keeps strong people hopeful. Life will knock you down. It will break you at times. It will test you with situations that feel impossible. Right here. But as long as the sun rises and you open your eyes, you have another opportunity. That hope keeps you from giving up because no matter how bad yesterday was, today is fresh and strength can be built right here, right now. That perspective is powerful because it removes despair and replaces it with possibility. As long as you are alive, you can grow stronger. Strength built daily is quiet. It doesn't shout. It doesn't boast. Right here, it doesn't demand recognition. It shows up slowly, silently, but powerfully until one day you realize you are no longer the person you used to be. Your body feels stronger, your mind sharper, your will tougher. Right here, your spirit more unbreakable. That transformation doesn't happen in one grand gesture, in the grind of using every day to get stronger. Strong people know this, and that's why they don't waste their days. They use them as building blocks, stacking them one after another until they become unstoppable.